Hey, what's going down, man?
So man, I love to do things like this, man, because it comes back around full circle. I was telling this young gentleman right here, he talking about he want to go to Miami for spring break. I'm like, you in high school, you a freshman. What you know about like Miami for spring break? You know what I mean? So how my mind worked, Trav, it immediately took me back to my first time in Miami for spring break. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh, well, hold up. If you're gonna do Miami, I think it's important to do Miami with the right people because you experience it the right way. That could be detrimental to like, you know, life. You know what I mean? So I remember coming out here. We wasn't able to stay on no South Beach or nothing like that. You know what I mean? We was in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? But we had Big Brother, we had Tiger. You know, and other people that was older than us that can show us, you know, the ropes of what to do, what not to do. You know what I'm saying? And so I had the time of my life out here. You know what I mean? I enjoy it, but I also think that because we experienced it the right way the first time around, that it was even better when we was able to come and do it, you know, on our own. You know what I mean? And we appreciated it more. So we didn't get too far off of the blueprint that was laid from us. Talking about what Tiger laid, you know, the things that we did. We didn't go so crazy with it. You know what I mean? You can see some of these people. You hear some stories, guys, young ladies going out for spring break and never returning. So it's serious, you know what I mean? Or I got some friends that went off to college that people done slip something in their drink and they're never the same again. So, you know, in you know, it's spring break season, so people gonna be tripping all over the world, and not just for a spring break. You know, I mean that's just a small thing, but in my mind, I see like Webby being like a nephew to you, like no different. So to be able to give some type of advice to your 15-year-old self that he can use going forward, I would love to get your thoughts on that. You know what I mean? And not even I want to do this too. I want to be able to give like we sitting with a legend, like you're a legend. You know what I mean? You're a king. You're successful at all levels. You know what I mean? Professional level, the whole nine, and even after professional, being a top photographer, being one of the best photographers. When it comes to anything, I know you specialize in it. You specialize in weddings and things of that nature. But in my eyes, being one of the best to do that as well. So, given that, you know, being a young entrepreneur, being a king, being a man, you know, take care of your family. You wear a lot of many hats, but being able to pass some of them lessons on to your 15-year-old self will be very helpful, and I'm thankful for that. If you don't mind.
Yeah. So one thing that I say, like T-Web, is that nowadays it's a lot different from when we grew up. Right? YouTube, Google wasn't such a huge like search engine. So a lot of the things that we were learning going through, we were just learning it by chance. You know, nowadays you have the power of the internet. You know, so being able to go on Google, researching any idea that you have is somebody that has already done it, mastered it, had a lot of success at it. So what I would do first is go. If you don't have anybody at home that want to do exactly what you want, I would go look online. Now, you can always find bad things online too, at the same token, but you know, you more than smart enough now to figure out what's the good information versus the bad information, you know? So let's take it back to when I was younger. Even though we didn't have the Google, things like that, I just would have been more curious, you know, and asking questions, because even though we didn't have Google, we still had people that went through things. So you can always learn something from somebody. It don't matter if they have a lot of success or they don't have a lot of success, because everybody got a story. Everybody get to where they get to because of something, you know? So I heard like one person, he was talking, I don't even say his name, but he was like, you know, he don't want to take advice from anybody that don't got more money or something than them. And that's the absolute worst thing. That person probably had the money that you had and lost it, and they could tell you what not to do so that you get to that. So in life, you know, as you're going through life and you learning lessons, learning from other people's lessons is going to benefit you just as much, because you don't necessarily got to go through every experience to learn something. You know, you can take what somebody else said, shortcoming or bad or good, and figure out how to move, you know, from that point. So.
I think the true genius in that is being able to learn third person. Like,
yeah.
I shouldn't have, because first of all, we don't have enough time to experience everything anyway, you know what I mean? So if I can use my time wisely and learn from somebody else's mistake, what to do, or like you talk about what not to do.
Right.
Is vitally important. I know Saban used to always talk about that. Hey man, we need the bad apples around. I'm like, why do we need the bad apples around? He said because the bad apples going to show everybody else what not to do.
Right.
So if you don't have the bad apples, nobody know what not to do. They're gonna keep on testing. I think at the time a guy had stole a cap or was playing or whatever the case was, but took a cap out of somebody's locker and they was off the team. And that's something like shockwave to the locker room. Like, dude, so and so got put off the team because of a cap.
Right.
So you knew not to touch nothing, nobody locker. You know what I mean, going forward.
And even like to my own life, right? So let's say I'm like 13 years old. I'm playing football, basketball, I'm having some success at it. And I was younger playing with like the older guys, right? So I'm like 12, 13 playing with the 18 to 23 year olds. One thing in my neighborhood, I kept hearing dudes say, if I'd have never did this, if I'd have never started drinking, I could have did this. If I'd have never smoked, I could have did this. If I never did drugs, right? So I don't know who put it in me, how it came to me, but right then I realized that I don't have to go through everything to learn something. I'm gonna just take what you say, and what I get from that was just complete the process. I don't know how this happened, but it happened. So even in middle school, for me to finish middle school, to me was a big thing because I know some people that didn't do it. So now I'm still playing ball. I'm in high school, really no aspirations on making it to the NFL because I didn't know nobody did it. So I didn't know how it looked like, So now I'm in high school, I'm playing ball, I'm doing my thing, staying out of trouble. And I know that, once that ends, either I get to go to college or if I don't, I'm gonna be okay with whatever the situation is because I know that I put my all into it. I seen the process complete itself, and whatever is next for me, whatever God got in store for me, that's what it is. So for me, it was college. Now I get to college. Now Saban, he used to do a real good job with us. He have like people come talk to us about drugs, alcohol, gambling. And then they had somebody speaking about statistics of how many people played. There was like a 1 million high school players, 65,000 got scholarships to colleges, 240, somewhere around that, was signed an NFL contract. So as a freshman, sitting in this big room, and I'm looking around, he number one from Louisiana, St. James, he from Cali, he from this place, and that's just all in our room. Now I start thinking about Florida Gators, Florida State, Miami, every school. So that number is gonna be real tight. So for me, I was just all about making sure that I went to school, I did everything that I needed to do to not get kicked out, right? Because I want to complete the process just to give myself the chance. I didn't actually think I'd play in the NFL until I was a senior, right? The reason why is, like I said, I never knew anybody that did it. So now here we have Randall Gay, right? Randall Gay, he ended up going and playing with the Patriots, playing the Super Bowl like the first year. He was the first person that I actually been around, like really around, and to see them like make it to the league like that. And we're in the same meeting room, so I know what you can do, what you can't do, whatever. And when I saw him play, I'm like, well, shit, if he can do it, I can do it too, because we can do the same thing pretty much, So from that point, going into my senior year, I was like, okay, I can get in there. So now when I get into the league, I don't even have an amount of time, success, anything that I want to get out of it, right? So you have everybody say they like believe in God, things like that. And for me, just to be able to have that opportunity to play for one day was good enough. I luckily got 8 years out of it, right? So when my time came for me to stop, I knew it was my time to stop. But when it came for me to stop, I never looked at it like, dang, I wish I had one more. I wish I had this or that. Because if you do that, I felt like I wouldn't receive a blessing from God the right way, right? And if I don't receive that blessing right, why would he give me the same type of blessing for another path? So the success that I feel like I'm having with photography is solely catered to the way that I received my first one.
Now I can tell you this about a 15-year track. You don't have one just yet, but I know you got
two girls.
No, I know you got two girls, but little nephew, Bakari. So he's not quite there yet, but
Mm-hmm.
he'll be there soon. They don't talk a whole lot.
Yeah.
I don't know how you was as a teacher. I didn't talk a whole lot either.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. Yeah,
You know what
I
mean?
just listened.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
know what I mean? So I was the same way. So I don't blame him. You know what I mean? So I was that guy. I just started talking like, shoot. Maybe 5-6 years I started running my mouth like this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a little more. Your mama might say so. But so I got another question for him. How you go about selecting good? Two-part question, or bad friends? How you go about seeing it, figuring it out? Because you know you go on high school campus, they're gonna have good ones, bad ones, college campus, you know, etc. So how you go about?
Yeah. So first you're gonna start out with like this big pool of people hanging around you, right? And from there you're gonna be able to start determining who is what. The quickest way to figure out who is good for you is the people that don't want nothing from you but to see you do good. You know, they're not envious, they're not jealous of success you have in playing, living, whatever it is, your style, your swag, the whole nine. The people that just gravitate to you and just when they see you, just like love, what's up, what's going on, they never kind of bring any negative tension to you. Those are the ones that you want to stick to. The ones that have any kind of hate, they looking at you, oh, you wearing these type of shoes or anything that's off being positive, that's how you start weeding them out right away. The number one thing is when a person show you who they are, believe them, right? A lot of times, even myself, I have some friends that I let in, and I let them in for a long period of time, knowing that they wasn't right, you know? And it took me to get to the point where it was like, you know what, enough is enough. I gotta let that ride. And when you do that, you realize that you open yourself up for more blessings. It gives you more time to be productive as opposed to just sitting around doing a bunch of nothing with the people that don't want to see you do great anyways, you know? So that's how I would weed it out, is solely is being around people that want to push you and people that inspire you, right? Because you can't always be the top dog in the group. You know, you want somebody that's a little bit of advancing you with anything. It could be the way that they studied. It could be the grades that they get. It could be, you know, the college selection that they have, or, you know, just thoughts and dreams, you know, that they have. You know what I'm saying? When y'all like having conversations. So, you know, you want to get a really good group of people around, people that's on your level, people that's ahead of you. Some of them going to be a little bit considered behind you because they're looking at you like, I need to kind of catch up where he at, and everybody just keep pushing. So me, right now, I watch YouTubes all the time. Whoever, Lil Baby, The Baby, Jay-Z, it don't matter. All of those dudes are doing like really good for themselves. So I like listen to what they're talking about. And I kind of take different things like, okay, he did this. All right, I like how he did that. Let me go at it even harder. You know what I'm saying? So you can get it from tons of different people.
I always thought like we had, I was talking about this before when you was working over there. I was talking about saying, man, we always had a healthy competition, but we never competed against each other.
Yeah.
It never was no negative, bad, bad, like never. But we had healthy competition, and even in the media, we never slipped. I guess it was like what you talk about, unconditional. You know what I mean? It wasn't, you know, based upon, you know, what you do for me or what I can do for you. But I can remember just, you know, we competing. Like you're like, hey, don't throw it to my side because this is what's gonna happen.
Yep.
But it never was no bad blood. But we was competing. Hey, Trav, how many PBUs you can get? That's, if you don't know what PBUs is, I know you don't know. You slow that down a little bit. That's pass breakups. You know what I mean? You knock the ball down, right? So we used to compete. How many you can get this practice?
Yeah.
How many interceptions you can get this practice? But it never left off the field. It never turned into like real life thing. That was just a healthy competition to make us both better.
Yeah, you know? and it's so funny that me talking about that, I ain't even registering us to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that's exactly how it was. Yeah. I always want to see Webb like go and kill it. When we out there on the field, let's go. You know what I'm saying? They throw your side, break it up. Yes. They on my side, I'm gonna take care of it. Even to the point when I remember after we won the championship, we had a great season and picking things off, All-American and everything like that. Webb was like, I'm coming back to school. My thing was, for what? What you coming back here for? Nah, you need to go. You know what I'm saying? Go get the bread, come back and drive a fly whip. I want to see it, you know? So that's like, you want to have people around you like that, you know what I'm saying? That they only want to see you like do good.
Now, I didn't know that in the midst either though. This is just me looking back on it and seeing like, damn, we was always pushing each other, but we didn't know it. It was just a healthy, friendly competition, you know what I mean? He got one pick of the game. He was looking for me. And when you gonna get a pick? Well, like when you gonna get a pick? Like what? Yeah, like as motivation and vice versa. So that's what I was like. I didn't know about that when it was happening. I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't that present in the moment. But looking back at it, I'm like, oh, this is exactly what was happening.
And coming to the sideline, what you getting? How is he releasing? What's the release like? He getting good stuff?
No, now that was premeditated. We would definitely do that if he had one. Because I remember playing against Georgia, right? The two receivers they had. We would definitely have to come back. What was the receipt? That didn't matter. Whoever we was playing, if he got it first and I got him, we had to say, hey man, he quick off the line or he this off the line. We had to do that. That was like every game. If we didn't do that, something was wrong. You know what I mean? Like we wanted to know what did he see or what did each other see from the different receivers. And we was mad when we didn't get press coverage because then one couldn't come back and give the other information. Now I was off the last two plays, so I don't know how it felt. You know what I mean? We wanted that. That just kind of helped us going on. And once we got that, we was able to critique that, give it back to each other. And the receiver couldn't do nothing.
Nothing, you know. So, yeah, man, that was really good right there, you know, because that's real life, like what happened, how it went down, and yeah, man.
I'm asking this too, being a teenager, because that's what you are, right? You know what I mean? It's supposed to be the golden years, you know. What was the best part about being a teenager for you, and what was some of the, you know, that wasn't so great? I don't like to say bad or worse.
Yeah. So
pros and cons. I guess,
some pros of being a teenager is that you don't have a lot of pressure on you. You know, you don't have tons of responsibility. Any responsibility that you're having right now in the house, as far as cleaning up this, doing this, is minor. Like, take advantage of that, because soon the whole thing gonna be on you. The lights, the cable, the water, the kids, the food, the clothes, the trips, every single thing gonna come to you, you know? So being a teenager for me, like not having that pressure, being able to kind of just like enjoy life, kind of figure out like, you know, who am I? What do I stand for? You know, what path am I gonna take? Am I gonna follow this group or am I gonna do my own thing? So being a teenager, man, I just had a lot of fun. Just being able to come home, play video games, play ball, you know, and not necessarily worry about the pressures of like what's actually going on like in society. Even like just thinking about like presidencies and all of those different type of things as adults, you got to be kind of ready for. As a teen, you don't have none of that. I'm actually like every year when it's like National Signing Day and all these kids are about to go to college, I'm like back jealous again because I already know they about to go have so much fun, you know, being young, you know.
Less responsibility, less things that they worried about, you know what I mean? I had a little kid the other day, I think he was like 7 or 8 years old. He was like, I'm around, he's not really talking to me, but I'm hearing him. I was on a school trip with the middle boy, and he was like, hey, man, I can't wait to be a grown up, man. I can't wait to, man, because I ain't got to go to school. I'm like, whoa. Hey, man, growing up is a trap. You know what I mean? That's a trap. Don't believe the hype with it, man. Hey, be a kid as long as you can, man. Do not rush it. That just brought that to me. I'm like, no, don't rush that, man. There's nothing to be rushing to get to that. You know what I mean? You want to live this right here as long as you can, man. Milk this. You know what I'm saying?
So one of the cons, or what would be a negative, is just not being aware of what's actually out there, right? So being able, like, I wish I knew about real estate as a kid, you know, teenager, you know, seeing how people actually make money, right? A lot of people want to go to NBA, NFL, whatever. The most successful people financially don't play sports. They sit around and they sign paper, get money from the bank, and go build stuff and give them their money back what they cut and keep profit, you know? So that's one thing I wish I would have, you know, had more focus, but I didn't know to have the focus, you know? I didn't grow up around a bunch of people that had like tons of success doing like various things. Growing up in this community, everybody a lot of people end up kind of staying in the community and just kind of living, you know, and not so much pushing the envelope and bringing back tons of information, you know.
But that's your duty right now. You're already passing it on to the next generation, and that's a testimony. You know what I mean? That's a blessing and privilege to others. You know what I mean? You're not keeping the next generation behind. You know, you're trying to reach back and pull them forward. So that's the beauty of this, man. Being able to fast forward and let them hear about real estate, let them hear about entrepreneurship, let them hear about things that may not have known. They ain't gonna teach in school, but you can think outside the box to be able to get that. And I think that's cool. Another thing that's big, especially now, trying to target or understand peer pressure, because that's gonna be a big part of society, especially with the internet now. I like the fact that we grew up in an era where the internet wasn't there, and I just like the era that we came in with the internet and with social media. You know what I mean? Because I think we are the golden kids of it, because we was able to live without it and with it.
Right.
And when I say with it, we understood the things that came with it because how they introduced it to us. It wasn't just pushed upon us, you know what I mean? It was certain ways that it opened up to the world, and we was privileged to be in a position to get, the social media from being in school. So we got people that actually taught us how to use it. Now you got kids that's just getting social media out the gate, and that could be detrimental to them later on. You got teachers, lawyers, people that's losing their job over a post or a retweet that they have done. You know what I mean? So, talking about peer pressure, it can be done across the web now. Bullying and stuff is being done across the web now. So, some type of feedback on peer pressure and how you could target it and how you can deal with it.
Peer pressure, for me, it was fairly easy for me to kind of deal with, right? Because I knew exactly what I wasn't going to do, right? I didn't want to end up going to jail, selling drugs. I didn't want to do like any of those things. I didn't really even want to like skip classes like some people. And a lot of times we think like you have the in crowd, and then you have the guys that's not on the in crowd, right? But as life go full circle, the guys that was on the outside now on the inside, because they the ones with all the jobs. And a lot of people that was on the inside, they on the outside because they were too cool to ever learn how to do like anything. So when it comes to peer pressure, you always do what you know you're supposed to do. If a person is trying to pressure you, it go back to those bad friends, right? You don't want to be around nobody that want you to do something that they know that y'all should not do. By the time you turn 15, you know exactly going in the store, grabbing this Snicker bar, not paying for it, is bad. Breaking into this car is a bad thing. Smoking weed is a bad thing to do, So people that try to get you to do those things, you don't need them around. As a matter of fact, if you keep them around, they're not even gonna last with you until you our age. Because eventually you're gonna realize that you done wasted a lot of time with those people and they was never meant for you, And it doesn't matter who it is, cousins, anybody that want you to do something that they know is wrong, that you know is wrong, let them slide.
I don't think slide may be a different terminology we got.
Yeah.
So you have to define slide.
So let them go, basically. Let them go. You wanna let them go.
Yeah, our lingo may be a little different.
Yeah. What you about? You don't need them.
They got what to say? I just read it somewhere. They said just because everybody's doing it, that doesn't make it right.
Doesn't make it right.
And even though nobody's doing it, that don't make it wrong.
Right.
Because today's society is all about likes, all about clickbait. So if everybody doing it, look right. He making money doing it. I need to be doing that way. Just because everybody doing it, that don't make it right. And just because no one is doing it, that don't make it wrong. MVP. You got to stand on like. I went to a prison and the guy gave me this little tidbit. He was like, man, character, he called it to have or to be. To have character or to be a character. He says to have character is to stand on the principles that you hold near and dear to your heart in a positive way. To be a character is what most people are doing right now, grabbing any fairy tale person that you deem to emulate your life behind.
Right.
To have or to be. And we always want to say you gotta have character, don't be a character.
Right.
So
you're
gonna get those groups too. You're gonna get groups of people that you're gonna see it. That wanna pull you to do something that may not be, and they're gonna use that, oh, you ain't cool or whatever the case.
Yeah, they're gonna do it.
Try to build it up. So I think it's great, man, because I think we got to do this more and more. You know what I mean? Especially having we got kids now. You know what I mean? And we didn't have nobody to sit down and look like that. Like I said, always meaning to put it out to the public. You know what I mean? I had Dwayne. You know what I mean? But cell phone wasn't even big back then. So
right.
when you went off to school, you was just gone. You know what I mean? Until you visit for like a Christmas holiday or something. But it wasn't no like having these type of conversations. You know what I mean? It wasn't no just call them up. Right. You know what I mean? You the cell phone call. No, right. It wasn't like that.
And it cost too back then. You had to buy minutes.
It was a collect call. I was paying for about a minute or something like that. So it wasn't that easy just to jump on and be able to create these dialogues. So, soon kids are gonna be going off to college, man. Or some kids right now in the spring semester, they are ready to enter college right now. So I think these videos and this content like this is very important, not just for our own, but for all kids out there that want to, follow in our footsteps or do some of the things that we do.
Yeah, because even in college, you're gonna run into that same thing on the football team. Yeah. Like you have this basketball team, you have this dynamic of a bunch of different mentalities, mindsets. And even on a team, you have guys failing drug tests. You got guys that instead of going to sleep, they want to go to the party. Like you got to be real cautious about how you moving. Like all 4 years at LSU, I never drank alcohol, period. I didn't even know what it tastes like. And you will have guys that go to daiquiri shop, right, which is a Louisiana thing. It's not a big thing, You go to the daiquiri shop, and they like, I remember, my roommate Joe died. He was like, man, it tastes like grape juice. So guess what I told him? If it tastes like grape juice, I might as well drink grape juice. If it don't taste no different, why am I wasting my time drinking it? Yeah. And it wasn't like they was putting a peer pressure on me, like in a negative way, but at all times you just gotta remain like who you are, what you want, what you don't want, your actual vision. My vision to even get a second ear piercing was I wasn't gonna get one until I can get real diamonds. Right? So then I go to the league, all right, I go get it now. I wasn't gonna drink nothing until I got a certain amount of money. All right, got the money, all right, so let me take a drink. Then I realized I was missing the house and stuff. But it's all about like just sticking to your guns, making sure you stay true to you, At the end of the day, when you go look in the mirror at night or in the morning, are you happy with what you did yesterday?
Come on, man, give us something, man. You ain't seen nothing. Have you heard any of this before? Give us a thumbs up. You know what I mean? Or we just,
So what you think is some of the pressures that a 15-year-old male have to deal with in school and, growing up?
Like, if they don't dress a certain way,
you mean dressing?
So fashion. So you got to be real fashionable, or else you're not like cool, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't care.
No, not you, but just in general, like
other 15-year-olds.
Like other 15-year-olds, that's like something that they have to struggle with at school. If they not dress fly, then everybody kind of look at them not as an equal almost. Pretty much, yeah.
Or don't have to fly kicks on. I ain't gonna lie. I like when Cash Money came out with the whole white T-shirts. Yeah. I know everybody wanted to relate it to something negative, but to me it wasn't that when it first came out. It was people couldn't afford the Jordans, afford the high-end sneakers at the time. You know what I mean? Shaq was costing like $200.
Yeah.
That was then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nowadays it's just crazy what's going on with the whole sneaker world. But I like when Cash Money was like white T-shirts and Reebok. Reebok was a fitness shoe at the time.
Right.
They wasn't talking about the Shaquille O'Neal Reeboks. They were talking the fitness shoe. They was talking about the Reebok Classics. $49. So it gave kids an alternative to, I'm saying this is cool, I'm Cash Money. You can wear a white T-shirt now. It took a whole twist later on in life. People started relating white T-shirts to gang, to trouble, to thugs and stuff like that. But when that originally started in Louisiana, that was to stop that.
And so let me tell you how you have to know like your worth, like what you're worth, right? And it doesn't even matter what somebody else feel, how they think about, what are you doing? I never owned a pair of Jordans until I got to the league. Here I am, LSU, Division I player, playing decent, win national championship, I don't own no Jordans. I didn't even have a car in college at all. I didn't even care to have Jordans or the car. You know, like whatever I had was cool enough. Cause I have a lot of confidence like within myself that the clothes and the shoes ain't gonna make me. I make whatever I wear.
Right.
You know. So any of the people that would look at, let's say I don't even think they did, but even if they looked at me a certain type of way because I don't wear certain type of brands or whatever, it didn't faze me. None. It didn't stop me from doing nothing. Still going out on the field, kicking butt, you know what I'm saying? Still doing whatever I want to do around campus, you know, and still gonna be who you are, you know, so.
I think even more so, like, you learn about the people around you.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that, you know, look down upon you because, oh, he ain't got this or he ain't got that. So you start circling them people. Not that you got to tell them. You just know, that might be a liability rather than an asset there. You know what I mean? They might like me for the things that I have on or the things that I can do for them because they're looking at me through those lenses. You know what I mean? Oh, you a top cornerback? You supposed to. But nah, and I never thought that either, even though I used to have the Jordan and stuff. I'm going to tell you, Marcus made me stop getting Jordan in college. Because up until Marcus, he was like, you gotta get every color. I never had thought about it before. It never was a thought in my mind, you know what I mean? From when I was in kindergarten, it was all predicated off of doing well. My dad always meant, if you do well, we can do this for you. You know, he called it rewarding good behavior, you know what I mean? But it never was you are good because of Jordan, you know what I mean? It never was a thing like, Jordans made me better. Like it never was. Oh, I got this on. I make the Jordans look better. You know what I mean? Because that's how I thought in my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's just all about like just you being like true to you, right? No matter what somebody got or don't have, like it don't make you treat them any type of way. You know what I'm saying? Or what you got, it don't make you treat nobody no way. You just be who I am, and this is just my appearance. I like wearing this. I like doing this. You know, and that's just pretty much it. You know. Like, shoot, these Jordans that I'm rocking right now, I got these in 2000, whenever they came out, you know? And they was free, you know? I ain't even pay for them. I went from not being able to buy them to, I got them all for free now, you know? And I don't even really wear them. I only put them on because I thought, I'm going to come out with y'all, we're going to go somewhere, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, never know we might get on the court and shoot or something, so I need some.
Gotta be prepared, man.
Outside of this, I'm wearing like Chucks or slides, you know?
So we ain't gonna hold you, man. I know you want to go out here and
you ready to go
South Beach and see what's going on out here. So I appreciate you traveling.
Yeah, man. Anytime. All right, little Webby.
And I appreciate you listening, Web. You know what I mean?
He big Web now. He ain't even little Web.
Call me Big Core, man. Don't be calling me no deal.